Good morning, everyone. It's your host, Avi Kochik. If you're just joining us, we have about 82 participants on the line, just 18 short of 100, which is our target for every single call, at least 100 people. So please let your teammates know to jump on the call because we have an amazing speaker this morning, and it's a special guest today. And this is none other than Christian George, Renatus instructor Christian George. Now, Christian, I have immense respect for this gentleman. Christian is a businessman, an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, and having been a licensed real estate agent for over 22 years and a licensed escrow officer for over 14 years, Christian's very familiar with almost every part of the real estate transaction, and he is currently the content director and instructor for Renatus as he continues to grow his personal portfolio. Christian loves sharing with students how to research properties, build a plan and strategy, and then close the deal. And he's probably most well known for teaching the commercial real estate course here at Renatus. So, without further delay, I would like to bring on the line Mr. Christian George. Good morning, Christian. How are you today?
Let's see if there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, Christian, we can hear you.
All right. Nice. We've got it off mute and ready to go. It's a pleasure to be with Team Elevate today. What an awesome thing to do first thing on a Monday morning. I'm excited to be here. Sunny blue skies in Salt Lake City, Utah, and just excited about what Renatus is doing. Hopefully you guys had an amazing experience at the National Convention, as did I, and saw just how far we're taking the company in the days to come and what's happening in the future. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited about what's happening. Michael Huggins asked me to come out and share a little bit with you today about some best practices in using our web resources to share the message of Renatus. So let's see if I can get some screen controls over to me, and we'll just get right into it without any further ado. What we're working on, what we're interested in, let's see if we can move some screens around so you guys see what I see. Let's see here. What we want to really emphasize is with the upcoming launch of Helios that we're so excited about, we really take advantage of the tools that are there. So our goal is to really see what people who are consuming the education, what prospects, what potential clients are all interested in seeing. And we want to give that to our community and make sure that you as community members have a resource and the ability to do that. So let's see here. We're still not getting my screen for you guys, so let's see where we go. Let's see. Okay. If somebody can help me out, tell me how I can get you guys looking at what I see on my screen.
So, Christian, you should have screen control. You are currently the host. So let me know if you are able to share your screen now.
So I have tried, and you guys are just seeing, what do you see? Do you see the Renatus homepage?
We just see your background picture currently.
Yeah, that's not my image, so let's see what we can do. So where's let's see here.
So did you try switching from your webcam to your screen?
I did. Let me do that again. Make sure I'm doing that right. We appreciate your patience. I am sorry. I've just moved offices and rebuilt all my computer and everything. So let's see here. So walk me through that one more time. Tell me where you'd like me to go to get to. I'm not familiar with Zoom. I don't do a lot of Zoom chat. So
Someone said on the bottom panel, click share, and then you'll be able to share your screen.
okay.
So that's how it is on my end as well. There's a button that says new share.
Let's see if we can get back into it. Let's see here. I apologize for the technical difficulties this morning. Okay. All right. Does that give you guys a view of the Renatus login page of myrenatus.com?
Yes, we're able to see it now.
Wonderful. Sorry about the delay. Well, why we're starting with best practices for Renatus website on the Renatus front site is because there's really a ton of information here. There's been some concerns. Some people say, well, I don't want to send people to the front site because I don't want to, scare them away. I don't want them to see what Renatus is before they've been to a meeting and seen the group. And it's really, that's an old way of thinking. We want to shift from that. This is a fantastic resource full of amazing products or services that can really, really help you share the message of what Renatus is. And take you through that process. So let's just highlight a few of the features. You can see as someone hits the My Renatus homepage, what they're looking at is a scrolling featurette of some of the courses. You'll see highlights. Any of these courses they can click on. And a lot of people don't know this, but I found this to be an absolutely fantastic tool. When you click through to any of the courses, you get that course profile. And as you see, you can get a summary of the class, what it has, what it's going to go over, the total duration of the class. You can see that you've got 26 segments in there. You get a bio on the instructor, a description, and then you can actually go through segment by segment and show what a person is going to learn as they take this course. Of course, we're dealing with Jeff Armstrong in the seller finance notes, and this is a fantastic way to give them an overview and say, hey, as you start with the basics of understanding notes, as you can see right here, it's going to take you through how you can go over and create a business out of notes. And this really can open up dialogue with individuals about how the Renatus education system works, and then give them an opportunity and a place to go to continue kind of finding stuff out. In a digital age, we've found that people really want to have control. They want to feel like they're the ones driving. And so when we can give them the access to information that's available to them on their own, that's available in a way that they find convenient and easy, they'll take advantage of it. So as they go through these, you can see it will go all the way through segment by segment. They've got our privacy terms and policies. These are some validators. Why these are so important is when you see social media ties or links, when you see privacy terms and policies, it will take you, we also have news, blogs, and feeds that are all tied in there. What it shows is the establishment of the business and legitimacy of the services that we're providing. So we really want people to see that, hey, this is something that's been around since 2011, it's active, it's up, it's going, and to do it, you've got to know how to navigate a little bit. So if we just take it back and go back to the Renatus homepage, where we look at the login, or we see just some of the other features. I love scrolling down because it gives you an idea as well about the difference between our Essentials offerings and our AIT offerings. You've got total education summaries here as well, going over how many courses we have, how many current instructors we're working with, and you always have the option to go down and do a little bit more research. Now, as you go into the Essentials education, it gives an overview of how that reads and how that works. These are some of my favorites, however. If you see these amazing investor stories, which are featured right on the home site, you have an amazing ability to go in very quickly, play a video, view just what the power of the Renatus education system is, and see that it is something that can really propel people forward in their investing. It's all properly disclosed, all available, and you'll hear individual testimonials on specific featurettes, courses, and services offered by Renatus. It's absolutely powerful and amazing. I love sharing the testimonials with people because it really takes them to a place to say, man, I've done this. And if you see down here, there are several options. You can go through as you click on these. Each one's going to pull up a different testimonial that's going to have a slightly different story. You'll see featurettes that are featured on events that we have, such as Super Saturdays or property tours. This becomes an amazing place to really take people through and say, hey, this is what our students are doing coast to coast. Why don't you come be a part of it? As it continues down, you can see as you navigate through these pages a little bit that you'll go into courses that will have amazing bios and amazing information. Anytime you click through on any of the courses at any point in the page, it's going to take you again to that course's main landing page, give you a summary. In many cases, there are videos of the instructors there who are going to describe for you what is going to be taught in the class, gives a quick overview of how that process is going to flow, and shows some professionally done promotional materials that explain the power of their course in the Renatus education system. It's absolutely fantastic place to go and be. Hopefully you're using this on a regular basis and directing your people there. Now, on occasion, we have people who say, man, I don't feel comfortable sending people to the Renatus homepage because they have the opportunity to submit their information. And if I do, or if they do submit their information there, we'll lose that lead. Well, a couple of things that happen is Renatus home and corporate offices, we don't take leads from the field. Just flat out period. It's not something we do. It's not the way the system works or the way the system was designed. So if a person, of course, and especially with the launch of Helios and the new software, if you're using it as your lead management, if you're getting information in there and starting to become familiar with just how powerful Helios is and is going to be, you'll see that as soon as somebody gets associated with the system, they're given a unique username and login, and that identifier that's tied to them, that person, that email, will allow us that anytime somebody puts their information into the home site to track back, and if that email is from a person who has registered for an event, checked into an event or attended an event, gone to a Super Saturday, or is part of the list, they'll be tracked back to you. And then the home team will reach out and let you know and say, hey, these people requested more information. Why don't you reach out to them and let them know a little bit more about what we do? The process for this is pretty extensive. Customer service will go through and check those directly. If for some reason we get a lead that isn't tied to an individual IMA or does not have a registered username and login in the system, then the research starts. We actually call that person and do a phone interview with them. Matt Snyder is absolutely fantastic along with all of our other customer service reps. But we spent some time answering questions to say, hey, I see that you logged into the My Renatus website and requested more information. We go through a few basic questions of, how did you find us? How did you hear about us? All with the motive to find the person who originally referred the person into the site. It's an absolutely amazing service that is offered. It doesn't cost anything. We just get it there. And really, on the whole, we find so few consumers who hit the page who haven't previously attended an event or already been registered to an IMA that I can say confidently it's a handful of year of leads that aren't delivered directly to the IMA who refers them into the system. It's such a great tool and a great way to right off the bat show the legitimacy of the company and show what we do. And you as IMA should feel confident that you have the ability to send people to the home site, get them familiar with what we do, and allow them to do their own research about the power of the Renatus education system. So not only do you have access to all of the 31 courses there, it's a great place to see just kind of in summary what we do. On the Renatus education page, you can obviously toggle between Essentials and AIT, But here's one of my favorite features. We have the course catalog in its entirety, and always its most up-to-date version. It can either be viewed or downloaded as a PDF right from the page. If you haven't seen or spent time in the course catalog, it's an absolutely fantastic tool to tell people more about the education system. You'll see every year we update on a regular basis as courses become available, as we do new tech, and we also swap out the interviews, which I'll show you in a minute, the highlights of students across the country who are doing the education. But it's a great way to show them that, hey, this really is run like an educational service. As you come into the system, you'll see an overview. You get to meet Bob Snyder. You've got a very simple table of contents that goes over what we have, our instructor profiles, the investor stories, and some highlights that we have taken out from success stories of students across the country. As you come into here, it gives you further explanations about how the essentials works, some detailed information about what they're going to find, where they're going to get, what it means to be part of what bonuses are, and what it means to be part of the AIT versus the essentials. It's a great place to give an overview of each individual course and figure out how our bonus materials work. As you continue on through the pages, and it explains and gives overviews of all of the learning paths in a very succinct and clear format. It explains the differences between the two types of core courses, where you have real estate core courses that focus on real estate specific strategies applicable to almost every transaction you'll do, such as contracts, title and escrow, understanding mortgages. As you move on to the wealth management side of the core classes associated with their AIT, these are going to be business fundamentals and wealth management fundamentals that are necessary and essential to really finding success in both your investing and your portfolio management. So what do those look like? Well, it's understanding your investor ID. It's understanding business credit, and it's helping with market analysis so that you can do the right analysis before you make any decision about where your precious dollars should be invested. As they continue through here, they'll get individual experiences and explanations of instructors, how they teach their classes, why they're out, why they choose to associate it with us, as well as their ancillary services like Renatus iOS. It's absolutely a phenomenal resource that gives so many an opportunity to really see the power of individual classes within the system. You'll also meet successful real estate investors who have been members of the community, such as Nancy and Jay Abramovitz, John and Christina O'Neill, and several others. These stories are a great way to take a personal side and a personal connection with those prospects who are interested in finding out about more of what we do and showing them that, hey, these are real people doing real business, and the instructors are here for a reason. They truly are some of the leading subject matter experts in their field in the United States. We're so lucky to have them and so grateful they're there. So as you go through this is a fantastic tool. Many of you might keep a copy of the course catalog in a printed format. There's a great PDF that you can download it with and print it from your personal printers. We also have the availability with the launch of the Renata store that'll be tied to the launch of Helios, that you can go in and purchase a fine glossy covered, bound print course catalog and have those drop shipped directly to you. We're so excited about that because the course catalog is truly one of the best tools you have for sharing the Renatus message, because it lets the person see for themselves what they're interested in and what they want. We talk so much about the conversation close, and we have amazing training from Woody Woodward, from Bob Snyder, and your local market leaders, PAC members like Michael Huggins and Scott Rowe, and they talk about the power of the conversation close and the investigative questions that you're asking people. In life, what are you most passionate about besides work? And then that allows those conversations to get going. The course catalog is a tool that does that same thing. Once they've viewed some of the classes in the course catalog, it's a simple question. Hey, which of those courses in the catalog seemed most interesting to you? And then that conversation can begin, and you can continue forward in showing them really what it is. Now, there's also some additional information available on the site. Again, we have some blog feeds. They can go in and find out, what we're doing on Facebook and in Twitter and social media. It also is an opportunity to meet the home team and see the corporate offices and really view what we do. We have individual descriptions and extended videos on what property tours are, what an introduction event is, what a Saturday intensive is, and what they would expect at the follow-up. Each of these are great videos that you have the capability to share. So if you are interested, you can find these videos in Helios, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how to share them in the future, but it should be something that you're familiar with. You should feel confident and know that you can send people right to the Renatus home site, get them going, get them information so they can start to see how legitimate, how big of a company we are, and what we're doing to provide services to our students. Now, as we move in, let's take a look and log into our site and really go in and check out Helios and a little bit about the power of what it has. So as we log into Helios, the goal today is to highlight some features. Let's see. Some features that will allow, let's see here. We've got different viewers up. Allow us to really get in and use the tools that are already existing in Helios. I know we're so excited for the launch and the updates and everything that's coming with the launch of Helios in the next few weeks, but let's go ahead and, there we go. Let's go ahead and show you that just what's already available to you in the system. So many of you had heard and realized that the availability of drop cards was coming. We featured those. We showed you a little bit about what they were in some of the founders webinars. Hopefully you're using those. This is one of the greatest ways to refer your prospects into the system of BIF, which is the briefing, the intro, the follow-up. Those videos are produced and fantastic. You've got the real estate success stories coast to coast. If you simply click here, you're going to find a zip file that's downloaded to your computer, available to you immediately. And in these drop cards, you're given several different samples of how you can use a Renatus drop card to just start the conversation. So if you look at one of them, we've got the information on the back, which is going to be your independent marketing affiliate information. If you have an office or a location that you'd like to print on there, you have that capability to do as well. You go in, and we also have some amazing graphics and images for the front. And these JPEG files, they're great to view. Let's see where my viewing window, there it is. And this is the one we're most familiar to you, but a really simple way to just gain some interest, you know, and it explains what it is. Real estate success stories from coast to coast, and meet the people who are building their dreams through real estate. It's a great tool to show really just what's available and what the Renatus education system does. So those sit right there in that drop-down menu. You can also find them in the Business Center, but as soon as that Business Center is deactivated, your goal as an IMA is to be familiar with Helios and what we have to share. We've hit the home page here where you can see generally speaking videos. You can also see Renatus reviews, get updates on the current Founders webinar, see what was done there. And down here you'll see the weekly top 10. Hopefully you're all familiar with this and visiting this site often. But let's go into the education very quickly and see just some of what we have. In the education, you've got, of course, the dashboard, which will take you to your learning profile, how many courses you've done, and give you the updates there. But let's look at the course library. Again, our goal and our topic today is what are some best practices on how I can share the power of Renatus through using the Helios in the home site. So as we go here, you'll see the entire course library in these wonderful tools. Just to explain a little bit of the format here, it explains whether it's the logo shows whether it's an AIT or an Essentials class, where it's landed. You've got a progress bar across the bottom here that shows how much of the course you've watched. And then you can click on any of the courses. As you go into the courses, this is a great place to see, again, all of the course segments and descriptions, and go over fully what the course entails and what it's available to, and what's available to the consumer there to view. It gives the total time duration. You can see your notes, action steps, and documents that are associated with the class, and you can actually get to your assessments here. Again, one of my favorite tools is the video introductions. In these courses, when someone lands on these pages, or if you're demoing just what the Renatus education looks like, if there's a play arrow in the bottom of the screen, you're going to get a great video in a pop-up window that explains and has the instructor giving an introduction to their course. This is great course material. We've seen that. It's a powerful tool. A lot of people don't know that you can share those videos. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So let's look at some of the other features in here as you're demoing and showing really people what they can do. As you go into the notes, each of our pages, whether you're on the details page of the class, whether you're dealing with notes, action steps, or documents, they're all going to have a search bar up here that's going to allow you to do a search. I apologize, I don't have a bunch of data populated into here. As I test and demo the new versions and new deployments of Helios, they wipe those on a regular basis, so all the progress that we make and all the notes that I make on courses are removed, and then we re-put them back in. But the idea is that you can see that someone can take the notes in the individual class, they can go in, they can see it. Let's look, you're welcome to always show them, you know, exactly what's happening in a course. You can take them to the full screen, show them what the window size looks like. Now it's a great time. As we launched and mentioned at Nationals, you'll have some classes that will have optional closed captioning available for Spanish or English. So if you simply click on the English, you can see that those closed captions will come up. If you want them gone, you just simply click off, they go away. But another tool for those who might be hearing impaired or have other challenges is a great tool and a great way to access for them. Now, up in the upper bar up here, you're going to see some features of the course panel. So if you want to take notes simultaneously while you're viewing the course, simply click on the course panel, and it's going to give you a split screen. The split screen is going to bring up your documents window, your notes window, and your action steps. Your notes window is one of my favorites because it allows you to add notes and create notes. But let's just say that we were playing Megan's video and we're at about 128. Let's go a little bit farther in, just 4 minutes in, and we're in a particular segment. If we wanted to make a note about this segment, we simply hit add note, and it's going to bring up a box. As soon as we start typing, it's going to create a record. And if we save that record, it's going to be timestamped. Now, in the future, anytime we go back and want to revisit that space, say a topic that pertains to our individual business or portfolio, something that's very interesting to us, all we simply do is go back and we'll click on that link, and it's going to take us back in the video directly to that moment that's timestamped there. Now, if you tag them, and the more information that you put in there, the more easily they are going to be available to search. So let's add another one in here and say, you know, Megan Rocks. We save that, you'll see the second one appear, but you can also search by a particular descriptor. And if you search, it's going to bring those right up, and this will be available across your education. Now, the action steps work in a similar format to that. So the action steps are going to be out there. They're going to be giving you information. You can go in. We're going to add an action step that says, maybe Megan says, establish business credit. I need to have an address. So let's say we need to create an address for my business. So as you save those, again, a timestamp's created. It's got your to-do. These will appear on your dashboard in a great summary that works really similar to your My Day page. So they're great assets that will help you propel your investment business forward as well as your IMA business. So take advantage of them. They're absolutely fantastic tools. Any additional documents will end up there. You'll see those added in a searchable format as well. But that's just an overview of the course, of the power of the course library and what individual courses can do. One of the great features I love, once you get onto our main course catalog page again where you see them, you've got preset filters that allow you to go in simply by the click of a button, pull up all of the classes associated with the Essentials track. You're interested in a particular AIT course, those are available for you too. Pulls up the whole AIT library, which is larger. Now you can go into bonus tracks. And you can also learn and search by individual instructor. For example, that's an awful lot of me. But the courses are good and the material is fantastic. So you can also learn and search by the learning paths which we have established in the Renatus education system. So let's say we wanted to pull up short sales. In a real quick summary basis, you can see all 10 courses, including the 2 bonus that are associated with the short sales track and learning path. Now, if we're back on the entire page and say you were looking for a particular topic, you wanted to find out about foreclosures, for example. By simply typing into the search bar, courses associated with that title are going to be immediately populated and premiered in that window. Say we wanted to search by instructor name. We have the same opportunity. Simply type in a name, and those filters are going to pull up. This is such a great tool because it shows how responsive and how quickly the Helios library inside of Renatus is for our future students. They can see that, hey, this is an education system that I have complete control of and know how to use to my advantage, right? As you go down here, you'll see information on the learning path, live education events. You'll go in and have document storage. You can meet the instructors individually again. We've tried to put similar information in multiple places so it's easy for you to find out. I love the instructor pages. The ones that have videos, and when I say the ones that have videos, as we film new ones, some of these courses we've had for quite a while before we had access and the ability to launch on Helios, but the ones that we do have access to and have filmed recently, we've added the instructor bios. And the instructor bios are a fantastic tool to go in and meet who they are, find out about their class. This is a great one. As you talk about, it gives a summary of the courses they teach, a brief biography, and then it goes in and has that instructor explain why, with their successful business, them being truly a subject matter expert in their field, why they choose to take time out of their schedule and serve in the Renatus community. It's an absolutely powerful tool that's fantastic. So we encourage you to use it and get out there. And these instructor testimonials can be shared. We're happy to do that. So that kind of brings us to the question of, hey, how do I know what I can and what I can't share inside of Renatus? Well, it's an amazing tool that we have down here in the video library. The video library, these are videos which we have produced, such as Generally Speakings, Renatus Reviews and Testimonials, amazing, amazing stories and short snippets, we call promo pieces, which are excellent for sharing with friends and family or potential prospects in your warm market. So how do we do it? Well, simply click on a video. We're going to take Sandra Ostrander here. It's a great, you come into the pop-up window and you're right there. Well, from this point, you're welcome to right-click and it says copy the video URL. And so by simply copying the video URL, you can come in there. Then we're going to go into whatever email program you have a preference for. So in this case, let's say I'm doing Outlook. I'm going to go create a new email. I'm going to bring that over to the screen. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to send this to me. I'm going to say, hey, check out this video. I just love Sandra's story, right? So very quickly, you can give a brief message in the intro and then simply paste the link. Send that email off, and that person will be tied directly back to the same video link that you're showing here. Any video that shows up in the video library is available for you to share in that format. These have been produced and properly disclosed so that you can go in and feel confident that the information you're sending out can be relevant to that warm lead, dealing with something they might have in their life, dealing with something that's pertinent to them. Maybe you can see here, here's the introduction to May, and maybe they've heard about Ben Care and want to hear his story. We also have some Money Matrix videos that are available to share. Now, these Money Matrix videos are the ones that we have licensed in agreement with Woody that we can share on as many times as we want that are totally free. In other areas, all the video library is not available because those are what you get for your education. So these are the ones that are allowed to be shared and distributed. Anything that shows up in this video library is truly a tool to help you market. But just look at how many available videos and topics we have that go down. It's good to become familiar with them, learn what they do, learn a little bit about how they work and the testimonials that work for you that apply to that particular prospect. It's about connection. As Woody Woodward has so elegantly taught us through the drive system, every consumer, every individual has their own drive personality, whether they're a director, a relator, an intellectual, it doesn't matter. They're going to have a different way of receiving information and a distinct way that they like to be spoken to. They're going to have specific triggers. So if we can understand and know what those are early on, then you as the IMA have the ability to go out and pick the messages which are going to speak to that drive personality type. It's an absolutely fantastic tool, and these have been available. They're available today. There's no wait for the launch of Helios. They've been available since May of last year. So we continue to populate and change this library on a regular basis. It's active. So come back here and visit often. Find out what's in here. Again, you can search by topics in the same way we've searched others. You know, so let's look at, you know, just come up with a term that might be pertinent. All of a sudden, we have several videos that are populating, knowing what's going to be working and speaking to a particular subject or matter that you're interested in. You have the same searchable features up here for this library. If you're looking just real quickly for the Money Matrix videos, a click of the button will populate that entire space with the Money Matrix videos that are available for you to share. Founders webinars, they're available, right? We also have Renatus reviews, as well as our amazing Generally Speaking series, which you guys use every week on your call. So it's a great place to find available resources for you. Now, when you combine that with the tools that are already existing in Helios, such as our training library, down here in the training library, we have the other resources we were talking about, such as the Money Matrixes. If you have in your business and you're needing that inspiration, you're training, you're working with your team, dealing with anybody who has ownership of education and access to the Money Matrix library, you can see the entire library here from this tab down here. It's amazing. It comes in a little different format. Eventually they'll be updated to show the tiles like the other video screens do. But look at the depth and breadth of content we have here. Literally hundreds of videos available to watch. Let's go back and look at some of our other trainings. One of the highly overlooked trainings, and this one I can't emphasize enough in your business. Renatus iOS software, which is the investment operating software that we have customized and designed and offer for education holders, is absolutely one of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal to sell the Renatus education. Why do I say that? Because when people see that they have supportive software and supportive systems to help them go through and really make a difference and change people's lives and help them in that system, they're not just going to be floating out on their own with a couple video courses available online, you know, and an occasional meeting. They absolutely have a software that can help them find properties, manage their tasks, that can help them do estimates on repairs and properties. It's absolutely phenomenal. But to really utilize that, it works best by demonstration. So to demonstrate it, you can show them. You got to show them how you're using it in your own business. Well, this is an amazing set of videos, over 23 videos that walk you through step by step how to use Renatus iOS in a way that is absolutely powerful and can maximize your business. And these videos are great. Same system. These ones you're not allowed to share openly and send via email. But if you're in your back office showing them around, it's okay to say, hey, don't worry about the training or figuring out how our system works. We have an amazing video library training service that goes through and teaches our community members how to use the Renatus iOS software, how to take advantage of everything that's out there, right? It's an absolutely fantastic tool. Now, we could repeat that same conversation on such things as compliance and training. In the Nationals tab, under the Training tab in Helios, you're going to find videos from the Nationals. We're still producing the 2019 Nationals that just recently happened. But you're going to see video trainings on compliance from Nicole Call, on how to use Renatus iOS and the premium lead pipes from Don Fowler. You're going to see Bob give his intro into our education services, the power of what it is. Highlighted talks from 2017, 2018, 2019 are available to show you, maybe John O'Neill's story of success. If one of these pieces would speak to one of your potential clients and meets their drive personality type, it's a great place to take them together, and you can show them just the power of the message and really what it can be. There's also some great other training and tools in here, such as FAQs. You'll see onboarding in here. You're just going to love what's available in the training tab. And again, so the difference between the training and the training tab and the video library, we put the video library together as specific video assets that you as IMAs are allowed to share via media, whether it's email, social media, a text message. You're welcome, if you've got all of the authorization to communicate with those people, to send out these videos in the appropriate manner at your appropriate time. Now, the campaigns, once Helios is launched, are obviously going to draw from these video library as well. But it's available to you now, and you can use these in a one-on-one basis by simply a few mouse clicks and show people just the power of the Renatus education system. So you can see as you come into what Helios is and what it can be, it truly is a powerhouse and a wealth of knowledge and resources. So ones that aren't specifically focused on video that you may find beneficial in your business is under the marketing tab. I'll review that again. So we're coming down in the main menu here on the left. You go down into marketing, you go under tab, you go under presentations. People say, man, there's 1 million documents. Look, we've got almost 80 documents in this page. These documents are organized in the same format with these amazing searchable engines. So if you're working at a meeting or you want some questions answered and say you've got a guest who's been to a meeting and says, I never got my packet or I never got my handout after the meeting that I was supposed to get. Well, that's available for you here to get it for them. Simply type in the word packet. Whoops, if I can type, there you go. And it's going to populate all the handout packets in their PDF format that you can either download. Again, once they're downloaded in PDF, you can email them. This information is available. It's fantastic information, and you've got two sets. You've got the current education packets with our current pricing in them, and then you've got our post-Helios launch packets so that you can see the pricing and billing and the education services and how that's going to change post-Helios. This is a great place to be now. Go in and be studying what the packets are going to look like after the launch of Helios, and in the meantime, you've got all of the current packets and disclosures available, both for you in the full color format, as well as in black and whites, which are easy printable. If you want to preview them, not go in, just simply click on one. It will take you to that field, and you're going to be right there. They open up in a new window, makes it super easy. You can scroll through them. You have the current pricing on the packages. You've got the funding options, all properly disclosed and set up, as well as our updated 2018 Statement of Average Gross Earnings, which really highlights the numbers of what first-year affiliates can expect to do, as well as other affiliates within the company, what our top 10 and 1% earners have done, and gives you some resources on how the earnings plan graphic can be explained, and a blank one that you can explain and graph it on your own. Remember, we always recommend that you refer people back to using the tools that are printed and populated because we know the information is correct and accurate, but then you have both. Explain to them, walk your prospects through the process of how it works. We've got the required disclosures, the questions that they can ask, but these are absolutely fantastic resources. Again, one that you may want to print out just a couple packets and keep in your car, keep in your briefcase with you. Whenever that conversation comes up, you're ready. Yeah, you want? Let's go over that pricing again, and I can show you what's included with each of the packages that we offer. Such a great resource, but you've got to know where it is and know how to use it and practice with it before you go out and try it with the prospect, because there's so much information there, it oftentimes can be a little overwhelming. It's an absolutely powerful tool that way to go in. Now, there's a ton of information in here, not just packets. What if we said guidelines? What are the guidelines say for, testimonials and endorsements? These guidelines are an amazing resource that are produced in the same way. Great documents, great summaries of information that says, hey, if you're using a specific testimonial in your marketing business, if you're producing a printed material running an advertisement that has a testimonial in it, these are the guidelines which we recommend you follow. And these guidelines come from recommendations from federal agencies as well as local state agencies. We try and do our best to give as much information as we can so you as IMAs have the ability to go out and run your business. Such a fantastic tool, right? We've got amazing resources in here to help propel your business forward. Now, another thing we have are PowerPoint documents. So if you simply type PPT, which is the suffix of the PowerPoint presentations, right? All of these are downloadable PowerPoints from some of our top presenters and marketers in the company. Here we have Bob Snyder's 5 Pillars Introduction. This is an amazing slide deck. There's over 150 slides in this presentation here, and it's available to you to use in your business with your teams, with your leadership teams in marketing the product. So what do? Simply click on the download button. It's going to download that PowerPoint for you. As you can see, it shows up down here. You can drag it to your desktop from there, and it'll be available to you to use. But look at who else you have available to you. You've got Michael Huggins on his follow-up. You've got Scott Rowe in the combination marketing funnel. You've got Michael Huggins on his intro. All of their slides, which they've used in current recordings that we have here, you have access to. And you can use any of the slides that are in there. Now, you just want to make sure if you're creating your own slide deck and creating a message for a presentation that you followed the guidelines that I just showed you and make sure your presentation has the appropriate disclosures. Those are listed individually out in the guidelines documents that I just showed you a moment ago. So it's a great resource. We expect you to customize your message for your market. What's going to work with your individuals, what's going to work with the people who you're prospecting with, what speaks to the type of investing that's popular in your particular city, county, or state, or market that you're working in. All of that information can be customized to the recipient so they have a higher rate of interest and a higher ability to really see the power and be spoken to by the Renatus education system. How do you find it? Well, you got to be in here. You got to be in Helios seeing what's available to you today, so that you're ready when the full service launches and our billing starts and all the other amazing featurettes that we have. So in addition to these PowerPoints, we could also look for video. Now, these videos are samples of instruction that we have that you can take and use in your business. Look at this library. These are, and again, fantastic resources. You might be saying, man, Michael Huggins is just knocking the cover off the ball. I want to see how he's doing and what he's doing and how it works for him. Well, once you use the tools and can go in and see his PowerPoint, you can also watch a video and see how he did it. These are actual screenshot recordings of how he goes through and does a briefing and says, hey, come on in. Let's see what we're doing. Let me tell you why you want to find out a little bit more about us and how we work. Some amazing opportunities to find out how he pencils and whiteboards. But what if you also said, man, I love the way that, Scott Rowe, has a strong message in his follow-up. Well, Scott's come in and recorded in studio exactly how he does his follow-up. You want to see how he walks people through, a couple hours of explaining everything front to back, from the education system all the way up through the earnings plan? Well, you've got a video of another market leader, one of the top in the company, who is going through approved content material that shows just what you can say in those conversations. Now, it's fantastic to rely on our leaders and use the resources that they provide for us. Just like this amazing call that you're on every day in your team, or if you're hopping on multiple calls throughout the week, it's great ways to stay motivated, find out about resources, and give credence to those people. Who do you ask if you want to be successful in a particular field? Well, you ask the top person in that field. You have those top people as part of your team. Michael Huggins is an extraordinary leader. You've got Christian Sadler, John O'Neill, you've got Mitch Nelson, and then you've got leaders in other markets like Dr. Gary Lawrence. You've got Scott and Nancy Rowe, all of which have amazing services and offer, and that's why we share the way they share the Renatus message with you. Hopefully it gives you an overview of just how much there is in here. Now, listen, we spent almost 40 minutes going through Renatus and the Helios site and really the power of the resources that are available to you, and we're just scratching the surface. So our recommendation to you is get into Helios, get into the marketing tools, watch the videos, but don't just wait for the team to, send you a link or do something. Get in and find out for yourself. See the power of the Renatus education system and all the resources that are available to you in Helios today to propel that marketing business forward. Get those sales in, get yourself qualified so that you can be out there making the big bucks and doing deals and kicking butt and taking names, as Michael always says, in your business, because that is our sincere hope and desire for you. It's been an absolute pleasure being on the call with you today. Hopefully it gave you a little bit of information, showed you some new stuff that you may not have seen before. Stay tuned, check in often. Also, if anybody wants to make a quick drive out to Utah, we've got live classes this week. We've got live education on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, doing our new learning path featuring our advanced nightly rentals, day 1, day 2, and 3 with none other than Jay Massey. So we invite you out. Please come see us. Keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing. We're so excited that you're part of the Renatus community. Thanks, everybody.